Math Hoffa says he's lost his studio and that he is no longer able to film My Expert Opinion, which means that his podcast is basically suspended. He can't do his podcast anymore. For those of you that don't know, Math Hoffa over the last few days has been making kind of reaction content, leaving many people to wonder, hey, what happened to your podcast? Well, Math Hoffa decided to address what happened, and it was a story of issues with his studio, the people he rents to, the people he subleases to. So we're going to break it down. On his channel, Math Hoffa says that when he first started his podcast, the business he was doing wasn't necessarily good. And he was talking about contracts and the paperwork not being sound, and he didn't really solidify things on the business end. He even appears to call Esso and Heineken the B word, which is interesting because I had thought they had kind of figured things out after that Angela Yee setup. Then Mav says that there's a war on podcasts, and he even goes to where the barbershop was in which they filmed My Expert Opinion, and he has like a light. It looks like he's going into a haunted house, but really what he's doing is he's going into a studio, his old studio, with a light because the lights have been shut off. And he starts saying that he hasn't been dropping after all of the things he's been going through at the barbershop because the lights are off. And he outlines the beginning of this partnership when he acquired the space. He then hints that the landowner of the barbershop might have been racist because that landowner literally asked him, hey man, do you sell cocaine? That's kind of hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. Then Math says he entered a sublease agreement with the person who had it before him. So basically, somebody who was renting out to the original owner decided to sublease it to Math, and that the subleaser and the person who actually owned the land, they might have had a weird relationship with the subleaser trashing Math to the landowner. And also, Mav starts to say that he believes that the money he was paying to the subleaser wasn't being properly relayed to the landowner. And then Mav says that he got a $7,000 bill, which didn't make sense to him because he wasn't recording that much. After which he says that, hey, the reason why he wasn't recording that much, it was an issue because the landowners felt as if the more he recorded, the more they could take light sources away from him and reroute it to the other parts of the building so they could avoid having to pay the light and put the electric bill on Math's expenses. Then Math says the landowner was upset, and that's why all of these issues occurred. Now, this is a big deal because what's happening now, y'all? It's April. What happens in April? The tax bill comes due. So I'm just saying, could it be that Math had to pay his taxes and realize, oh my God, my contract is messed up and now I own a studio bill? Ugh. On top of that, the economy is tanking. So some of the old agreements that people had with their renters or their subleasers, they might be getting tighter and tighter, and Math and his studio might be at the expense of that. We also have to look at how this might really be go time for Math. I mean, Adam 22's case is a little bit different. Yes, his studio is expensive, but he has so much content. He has a back catalog of content. He also has a bunch of people beneath him, Flacco and all these other guys. Math, it's just Math. And as you can see, when he does the content and it isn't under the guise of My Expert Opinion, his stuff flops. I mean, I'm talking about 2,000 views, 1,000 views. He needs that IP or else his channel might die. So hopefully Math can find a way. And I think the only way he can find is he might have to hit up WTF Media. He might have to hit up Need to Know, or he might need to get a better streaming setup because right now he's on thin ice. And if he doesn't react quickly, this could be the end of My Expert Opinion as you know it. I really never anticipated that Esso and Heineken might be in a better spot than Math Hoffa. Is it a case of Math Hoffa fumbling the way he runs his business? Is he properly running his business? I don't know, you guys. Maybe he should have took that Revolt deal. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you feel like this is Math's doing? Often people have told me that Math is the reason for all of his failures. That it's not really any bad circumstances. It's just Math doesn't know how to run things. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it is odd that Math cycles through a lot of co-hosts, and people make fun of Joe, people make fun of Flip for how often the people around them seem to change. But Math, I don't know. It seems to be that you're the one going through issues this time, and I don't know if he'll be able to survive this unless he makes a quick pivot. This is a tough time. Math's rent is due, and I'm giving the advice: leave that music stuff alone. That music stuff is distracting you. Get your podcast back right. Cut the fat. See if you can do a couple guest host gigs. Call in some favors. Ask if Maul will join your stream. Call in favors right now. You're barely staying afloat. Somebody needs to have an honest conversation with you, man. What you mean the business wasn't in order? You've been doing your podcast for 3-4 years. And much like Adam22 hinted, I think Math, probably when he was at the height of the pandemic, he thought he would always be the guy. But quickly he found out he wasn't the guy, and that, that was just, everybody was in their house during the pandemic. Everybody was watching content. Everybody was engaging at a high clip. And now that isn't the case, and Math must figure a way out. But let me know, do you think Math will figure it out? Do you think we'll look back in a couple years and see Math as somebody who just had it but could never master it? Because I really thought he was going to be one of the top voices in hip hop. But with this type of issue, it's looking like it's seriously in danger. All right, y'all. Follow me on Instagram, The Stop TV. Follow me on Twitter, The Stop TV. Tap in with my Patreon, The Stop. This is Danny from The Stop. Peace.